Welcome to BakoMaths, and to this lesson we'll be looking at the expansion and substitution of sets. This part 1 to be precise. And you have not subscribed to this channel, kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell so that when new video is being uploaded, you'll also be the first person to be notified. Now let's get started. We have this set of examples, and it says here in example 1 that without using tables or calculators, evaluate 2 square root of 5 into bracket 6 minus 2 square root of 5 is square root of 5 is equal to 2.236. Now with this, we are first going to expand the expression, and then the expression we are going to have at the end square root of 5, and then we do substitution, or we substitute the value of square root of 5 into our final answer, and that will help us to get the final result. Now with this, if you try to do substitution for square root of 5 into the expression, our solution may be complicated in some ways. So the best thing is for us to multiply the expression, and then afterwards we do the substitution. Now to solve this, then we have 2 square root of 5 multiplied by 6 minus 2 square root of 5. Now this implies that we have to multiply. So 2 square root of 5 multiply 6, 2 square root of 5 multiply 6, and the same 2 square root of 5 is going to multiply 2 square root of 5 here. So that is 2 square root of 5 multiplied by 2 square root of 5. Now at this point we have 6 multiplied by 2 square root of 5. We are going to get 12 square root of 5. We have 12 square root of 5 here, minus, now 2 times 2 we are going to get 4, and then square root of 5 times square root of 5 we are going to get square root of 25. So we further simplify our solution and have 2 square root of 5 minus 4. We all know square root of 25 to be the same as 5, and at the end we have here as 12 square root of 5. Now 4 times 5 gives us 20. Now at this point we can see that there is square root of 5 here, and then we are going to substitute the value of square root of 5 into this solution. Now from the beginning we said square root of 5 is the same thing as 2.236 minus 20, and when we break this down, our final solution now becomes 6.832, and it becomes the final answer to this question. Now let's check the next example. In example 2, it says that if square root of 7 is equal to 2.646, without using tables or calculators, evaluate 3 square root of 7 into bracket 7 minus 2 square root of 7. Now we are just going to simplify the expression here, and then our solution, we are going to have the presence of the square root of 7, and then we substitute the value of square root of 7, that is 2.646, into the expression, that is the final solution to this expression, and then we get our final result. So if that continues, then we're going to have 3 square root of 7 minus 2 square root of 7, bracket closed. Now it implies 3 square root of 7 is going to multiply 7. We close our brackets, and we have minus 3 square root of 7 times 2 square root of 7. Now at this point we can see that they are going to multiply. So 7 times 3, we are going to get 21, and then there is square root of 7. We bring that one, and we come here. We can see 3 multiplies 2, we are going to get 6, and square root of 7 times square root of 7, we have square root of 49. Now we continue, and we can see that we are going to maintain that of 21 square root of 7, and we have 6. We all know square root of 49 to be the same thing as 7, so we have 6 multiplied by 7. Now we have 21 square root of 7 minus 6 times 7 gives us 42. Now we can see that there is square root of 7, but from the beginning of the question we said that square root of 7 is equal to 2.646. So with that we do a quick substitution, and we have here as 2.646, and then we have minus 42. And when we break this down, 21 multiplied by 2.646 minus 42, our final solution now becomes 13.566, and this becomes the solution. Now we continue the next. In example 3, it says that simplify 3 square root of 27 minus 2 square root of 3 into bracket 4 square root of 3 minus 5 square root of 12, given that square root of 3 is equal to 1.732, and leave your answer to 3 decimal places. So with this, we first have to simplify our expression such that we get square root of 3 in it, and then we do substitution. Substituting the value of square root of 3 into the expression directly may get our solution a bit complicated, so we first have to reduce it. So we have 3 square root of 27 and 2 square root of 3. We have 4 square root of 3 minus 5 square root of 12. So with this, we can maintain our 3 square root of 27. We work on it later and focus on multiplying 2 square root of 3 by 4 square root of 3 and minus 5 square root of 12, which means 2 is going to multiply 2 square root of 3 is going to multiply 4 square root of 3, and we have 2 square root of 3 times 4 square root of 3. Now we can put this in one bracket for it not to confuse us, and we have minus 2 square root of 3 and minus 5 square root of 12. So when minus and minus multiplies, we're going to get plus, and then we have 2 square root of 3 multiplied by 5 square root of 12. Now we can expand our expression, so we have 3 square root of 27 minus, now when 2 multiplies 4, we are going to get 8, and square root of 3 multiplies square root of 3, we are going to get square root of 9. Now plus 2 multiplies 5, we have 10, and we can see that square root of 3 multiplies square root of 12, then we are going to get square root of 36. Now we continue, and we can maintain that of 3 square root of 27. So you have here 3 square root of 27 and 8 multiplies square root of 9, but we know that square root of 9 is the same thing as 3, plus 10 square root of 36 is the same thing as 6, and we continue. So we have here 3 square root of 27 minus 8 times 3 gives us 24, and 10 times 6 gives us 60, which means our solution now becomes 3 square root of 27. Now we can see that 24 plus 60 gives us, that is plus 36. Now we can see that the square root of 27 is not in its basic form, so you have to reduce it to its basic form or simplest form. Now in doing so, we have to consider the factors of 27, and among the factors of 27, we have factors of 27. We have 1, 3. So you have 1, 3. We also have 9 and 27. So these are the factors of 27, and we can see that 9 is a perfect square, and when we multiply 9 by 3, we get 27. So it means our square root of 27 is equal to square root of 9 times 3, which implies that square root of 27 is equal to square root of 9 times square root of 3. So at this point, you can see that square root of 27 is the same thing as square root of 9 is the same thing as 3, and we bring out square root of 3. So in place of square root of 27, we can substitute 3 square root of 3. Now it means our solution is going to be of this form: 3 multiplied by 3 square root of 3, and then you have our plus 36. Now if that continues, then we can see that 3 times 3 is going to give us 9, and we bring our square root of 3, and we have our plus 36. But from the beginning of the question, we said that square root of 3 is equal to 1.732. So by quick substitution, then we're going to have 9 multiplied by 1.732 plus 36. And When we multiply and add, our final answer becomes 51.588. So this is the solution to our question. Now we have to move on to the next question. In example 4, it says that simplify 2 square root of 3 multiplied by 2 minus square root of 3 plus 2 square root of 2 to bracket square root of 2 minus 1. Hence, evaluate your answer to correct to 2 decimal places, given that square root of 2 is equal to 1.414 and square root of 3 is equal to 1.732. So with this, we are going to simplify just like the question said. And before we continue, if you have not subscribed to BakoMaths, kindly spend a moment and subscribe. Alright, so we continue, and our solution becomes, we have 2 square root of 3, 2 minus square root of 3 plus 2 square root of 2. We have here square root of 2 minus 1. So with this, it's just a matter of we expanding, and later we substitute the value of square root of 2 and square root of 3 into our solution. So it means we are going to have 2 square root of 3 multiplying 2, and we also have minus 2 square root of 3 multiplying square root of 3. And when we come here, we have 2 square root of 2 multiplying square root of 2, and we can see that positive and negative, when they are multiplying, we are going to have negative, which means we have negative 2 square root of 2 times 1. Now we have this expansion, and our further solution now becomes 2 times 2, we have 4. We bring our square root of 3 minus 2 times 1, we get 2. And we can see that square root of 3 multiplies square root of 3, we are going to get square root of 9. And plus 2 times 1, we have 2. And square root of 2 multiplies square root of 2, we are going to get square root of 4. So minus 2 times 1, we have 2. And the only square root component here is 2. So this becomes our solution. Now we can break it down. We have 4 square root of 3 minus 2 square root of 9 here is 3 plus 2 square root of 4 is 2. We have minus 2 square root of 2, which means our solution now becomes 4 square root of 3 minus 6 plus 4. We have minus 2 square root of 2. Now we can see that there is some rational numbers here, so we can add them. So minus 6 plus 4, we have minus 2 here, minus 2 square root of 2, of which we can rearrange our solution to be minus 2 plus 4 square root of 3, and have minus 2 square root of 2. But from the beginning of the question, we said that square root of 3 is the same thing as 1.732, and square root of 2 is also 1.414. Then by quick substitution, then we have minus 2 plus 4. Now square root of 3 is 1.732 minus 2 multiplied by 1.414. So you have minus 2, and at this point multiply 4 by 1.732. We are going to have 6.928. Have 6.928, and we have minus, so when 2 multiplies 1.414, we have 2.828. Now when we add these numbers, then we are going to have our final answer as 2.10, and this becomes our solution. Now we move to the next set of examples, and this example becomes our last but one example. So it says that without using calculator, evaluate square root of 0.007 if square root of 7 is equal to 2.646. So we are interested in evaluating 0.007 0 0, I think another 0 7. All right, so we have this, and to continue, we can see that this 0.007 can be written in standard form, and in standard form we are going to have, so it means we are going to have 1 2 3 4, that is 7 times 10 exponent minus 4. Now this also can be simplified for us to have square root of 7 times square root of 10 exponent minus 4. Now already we have been given square root of 7 to be 2.646, so we can do the equation substitution here. But before that, we can also work on square root of 10 exponent minus 4 to reduce it before we substitute the value of square root of 7, which means we are going to maintain square root of 7, and we have 10 exponent minus 4. This is going to multiply by half, because square root of a number is the same thing as half of that number. Now we continue. We have square root of 7 times, so the exponents are going to multiply, so we have minus 4 divided by 2, which means we are going to have square root of 7 times 10 exponent minus 2. Now, this 10 exponent minus 2 in indices can be written as 1 out of 10 exponent 2, so which means we have 7 times 1 out of 10 exponent 2. So this one can be written as 1 out of 10 exponent 2, which means we can multiply these two and have square root of 7 divided by 100, because we know 10 exponent 2 to be 100. Now we can now do our substitution, knowing well that our square root of 7 is giving us 2.646, right? So, but we know square root of 7 to be the same thing as 2.646. So with that, then our solution now becomes 2.646 divided by 100. And with the help of a calculator and other process of getting the solution done, then our final answer becomes 0.024. Sorry, so it should be 26. So we have 2646. So this becomes our solution to this question. Now we take our last set, that's our last example. We can pause the video and try this. So in example 6, we are saying that simplify square root of 5.12 if square root of 2 is equal to 1.4142. So we have our question as square root of 5.12, and this can be written as square root of 512 times 10 exponent minus 2. In standard form, this is how we can write 5.12, which means we can send or replace the decimal by moving it 2 times to the right. Now it means that we are going to have square root of 512 times square root of 10 exponent minus 2. Now we can keep square root of 512 and work on the square root of 10 exponent minus 2, which means we're going to have 10 exponent minus 2 all exponents half. So it means we are going to have square root of 512 times, now at this point the exponent multiply, we're going to have 10 exponent minus 1, and we know 10 exponent minus 1 to be the same thing as 1 out of 10. So having known this, we can go ahead, but the question made it clear that we should get square root of 2 so that we can substitute that square root of 2 with 1.412. And at this point in our solution, we don't have square root of 2, which means this square root of 512 is not in basic form or simplest form, so we have to do that. Now we can reduce to basic form or simplest form by first considering the factors of 512. And the factors of 512, we have 1, 2, we have 4, we have 8, we have 16, we have 32, we do have 64, we have 128, also 256, and the last one we have 512 itself. And these are the factors of 512. Now among the factors of 512, we have to identify the possible perfect squares. We have 4, we have 16, we have 64. So among these perfect squares, we have to take the largest perfect square, and that is 64. What number among the factors of 512 when multiplied by 64 gives us 512? And that number here is 8. So it implies that our 512 now is the same thing as 64 times 8. Now we are saying we want to reduce square root of 512, so it means you have to get square root of 512 here, which is going to be the same thing as square root of 64 times square root of 8. So it means square root of 512 is going to give us square root of 64 times square root of 8. Now in response to that, then we know square root of 64 to be the same thing as 8, and then we have square root of 8 here. So to continue with our solution, then square root of 512 can be replaced by 8 square root of 8, and we multiply by 1 out of 10. And if that continues, then we are going to have our solution being continued as. So if you have to continue, then we have our is equal to square root of 512 times 1 out of 10 to be the same thing as 8 square root of 8 times 1 out of 10. But that's still, we don't have square root of 2 here. We have square root of 8, which means this 8 is not in reduced form. So when you consider the factors of 8, then the perfect square we are going to have here is 4, and then the non-perfect square here is 2. When we multiply by 1 out of 10. Now this 4 square root of 4 times 2 can be reduced as square root of, so it should be 2 square root of 2. When reduced, then we should have this, then we have 1 out of 10. Now if that continues, then we can multiply 8. So when 8 multiplies 2, we have 16, and have our square root of 2 here times 1 out of 10. Now at this point, we can break it down. We have 16 square root of 2 out of 10. Earlier on, we said that square root of 2 is the same thing as 1.4142. So when we do a quick substitution, then we have 16 multiplied by 1.4142 divided by 10. And therefore, our solution now becomes, now we know 2 goes into 10 5 times and goes into 16 8 times. So we can have 8 out of 5 multiplied by 1.4142. And our solution finally becomes 2.2627. So this ends the solution to this question, and practically this ends today's video. So thanks for watching. Kindly like, comment, subscribe, and share. This is BakoMaths, thinking beyond infinity.